Before 10, we were talking about rabbits. Now, a listener contacted us and said, we got so many rabbits around Mount Osmond. Too many. What are we going to do about it? This has been an issue for a few months now. I remember Spence talking about this over summer. And clearly, now that we're at the end of summer, it's still an issue. Belle Baker is operator of Adelaide Hills Farm Services. And I'm told Belle knows all about baits and poisons and is licensed to use them and can help us in this discussion about rabbits. Good morning, Belle.
Good morning, David.
Oh, dear. Nobody wants to poison a rabbit, but, first of all, have we got a problem?
Yes, I would say most definitely we do have a problem here. I have been talking to the Hills and Fluria Landscape Board this morning, and they assure me that there are some pockets in the Adelaide Hills that have rabbits have calicivirus, and they should be reducing their numbers. But I'm going to go out on a limb and say he meant really small pockets because I haven't seen it.
Okay. Well, we've got one text here from a listener saying, I saw lots of rabbits at Carricalinga dying in the streets and they had swollen eyes, very distressing. Why would there be rabbits dying in Carricalinga?
Okay, well, my information tells me that when rabbits have puffy eyes and puffy genitals, it means they've got myxomatosis. Myxomatosis is a rather nasty virus, completely different to the calicivirus, which is the virus that the Landscape Boards released with the carrots program that they did, and they did one in December. So it is a completely different virus and rather nasty to see. And the best thing you can do is put the rabbits out of their misery.
Okay, but that's being deliberately circulated, is it? The myxomatosis?
No, it's not. No, my information is that that is a naturally occurring, if you like, rabbit disease.
It's been out in the rabbit community for decades. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right.
So your earlier caller from Mount Osmond, when he said he had 3 rabbits in 100 metres, I know it's not a competition here, but we have something like 20 in 100 metres. And the Pindone or carrot program did not work. But I can tell you that just this week, our rabbits have started dying, and I'm rather excited about it, except to say that I do believe they've got myxomatosis, not calicivirus.
Yeah.
So we are trying to manage that as best we can, but it has certainly reduced the numbers in our little patch on the edge of Littlehampton.
Right. Because, Belle, your business, Adelaide Hills Farm Services, explain to us what your business is.
Yeah, okay, so we provide agricultural contracting services across the Adelaide Hills, and as a part of that, it's actually Pods, who is the licensed pest technician or spray contractor. So he is licensed to go in and manage your rabbits if need be. That is a really small part of what we do. Honestly, it's really more spraying of weeds and crops that's our main thing. But to actually get hold of for fox toxin, from the resellers, you need to have a ChemCert qualification, and he has that. Yeah. But the fox toxin, I know people are worried about chemicals and nasty things releasing into the environment and other animals eating them. But this fox toxin actually gets put down the warrens. You wet it, you put the canister down the warren, and you block it off. So everything in there dies quite quickly. And it doesn't go anywhere else. So it's quite contained, but it should be done by somebody who is qualified and knows what they're doing.
Yeah, you don't want to be messing around with this stuff.
No, you don't. So we've got dogs on our property, and all around us, all our neighbours, everyone has dogs and alpacas and 2 dorpers, etc. And we'd be quite happy to use it on our property, but it does need to be, you can't just, Joe Bloggs can't go and purchase it.
No. One listener says shooting rabbits can often be done safely with the right firearm and is humane. I cull rabbits, foxes for landowners. Is that actually an option?
Absolutely. We need more of that, in my opinion. And please don't, pardon the pun, shoot me, everybody. But, that is a very good idea. Now, we have somebody we're looking at getting with an air rifle to come and do that. But the problem we have where we are in our little plot is that we've got one neighbour who doesn't want any shooting done. Sure. But the neighbour on the other side and the other side, they're all fine. But shooting can be contentious, particularly around small acreage, small landholders as well. But on bigger areas,
Yeah.
fully support it. It is a very humane, and there are qualified and really good people out there who do shooting for a living, or, it's a good thing.
Eldit says there's a large rabbit colony in Trop Park along the Field River Reserve. My dog is thoroughly entertained, he says, trying to catch dozens. Yeah.
Because there'd be a wonderful food source there for the rabbits. And that's the key, I think, with what the landscape boards are trying to do with their carrot calicivirus programs is the key to it is there can't be other food sources. So these programs need to be undertaken when the rabbits have a limited amount of food sources. So they go for the carrots, and you're going to get a much better hit with the calicivirus that way.
And Belle, just before you leave us, we're talking to Belle Baker, who's operator of Adelaide Hills Farm Services. What about people who have rabbits as pets? Now, they're keeping them under control. They've got them in cages and things. They might let them out to run around their backyard, but then they put them away at night, that sort of thing. They would be worried about myxomatosis and calici and things like that. What's your advice to them?
Oh, look, that's above my pay grade. That is a vet thing. I too would be worried if I had pet rabbits. I don't know. That would be difficult. But the only thing I would suggest is that, pet rabbits probably only go around their lawn area there, and wilder rabbits are probably in the greater area. But I think, the advice is just keep them inside if you know it's around. You're going to have to keep them fairly well contained.
Okay. Well, Belle, is there anything else you'd say by way of advice?
The only other bit of advice I would suggest is that next month with our Farmcast, our podcast that we've started, we're giving quite a bit of an in-depth look into rabbits and what people can do from a range of different point of views. So we're going to cover all the management ways that you can manage the rabbit populations, but also how to talk to your neighbours and the farmers and the people around you to get everybody on board, because that's the really important thing. Okay,
because it is an issue right now.
It is, yes. It costs millions of dollars to the Australian agricultural economy, and let alone all my lovely plants in my garden. I've got these wonderful wire sculptures keeping all my plants clear of the rabbits. But yeah, it is a massive problem. And more money needs to be spent and given to the landscape boards to help people, and perhaps even out direct to landholders who want them.
Okay. Well, Belle Baker, thank you for talking to us.
That's a pleasure. Thank you, David.
Thank you from Adelaide Hills Farm Services.